I am Paul Harris. We are just about a week and a half away from the anniversary of an event that seriously changed things in this town and made us the center of worldwide attention. That would be the shooting of Michael Brown on West Florissant Road in Ferguson on August 9th of last year. Since then, we've heard a lot more about the Black Lives Matter movement all across the country. There have been videos of police and citizens engaged in all sorts of different encounters. And we've also seen other situations that raise the hackles of civil rights people and others who are upset about police treatment of civilians on the street. So the ACLU has come out with a new mobile app that they call Mobile Justice, which is really a way to record the police or any other thing you see when you're out and about. I've asked Sarah Rossi to come on and talk about this today. She is Director of Policy and Advocacy for the ACLU of Missouri. Hi, Sarah. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Was the Michael Brown event the one that kicked off the development of this mobile app?
It actually wasn't. We had the app in development for almost a year before Michael Brown was shot in Ferguson.
Okay. And why did you develop the app?
We developed the app for a lot of the reasons that have been discussed since it came out and since Michael Brown's shooting. Those reasons obviously existed for a long time before Michael Brown was shot, for years and years. Folks have been, out on the street, either walking or driving, have been pulled over for no reason or stopped on the street for no reason. Their civil rights have been violated, and the app itself, the purpose of the app was to make it easier for folks to not only record their situation either after the fact through a report or during the incident with a video, but to be able to very easily send that to the ACLU and basically contact a civil liberties attorney right off the bat when they felt like their rights and liberties have been violated.
All right, well, let's start right with the very first question. Is it legal to just take out your phone and start recording the police?
It is legal. You have the right to record police either when they are interacting with you specifically, or if you observe the police interacting with somebody else, you have the right to record those interactions. The one caveat I will say is that we always caution people to be very careful when they do take out their phone to record police, as we've seen in videos from other states, not necessarily Missouri. Reaching for your wallet or reaching for your ID or reaching for whatever the police have asked you for doesn't guarantee that they don't think you're reaching for a weapon. Mm-hmm. So you do have the right to record police, but we always tell people if they are going to record police to let the police know that they are taking their phone out to record, or make sure that there's their movements, that they're explaining their movements to police as they go, so there's no danger that they will overreact. If
it's legal, then why have we had so many incidents, including in the protest days after the Michael Brown shooting and then after the decision by McCullough not to charge the officer in the case, Darren Wilson? We had people who were walking along the sidewalks at those protests who were taking out their smartphones and videotaping what was going on there, including the actions of some law enforcement officers. And the cops came over and either stopped them or took away their phones or made them delete the files. Why does that go on if we're not talking about breaking the law?
Well, the simple answer is that police don't always follow the law. Most of them do. The ACLU is very clear on that. We know that not all cops are bad cops, but there are some bad cops, and there's some cops who do not understand the law specifically. In this case, the law that allows members of the public to record their interactions with police officers. We filed a few lawsuits after the protests because not only were private citizens having their phones taken away, but journalists were being told not to record or having their cameras taken away or having their footage deleted.
Yeah.
And that the only explanation for that is that the cops, those police officers in particular, were acting illegally and breaking the law when it came to the public's ability to record.
Sounds like there needs to be a better level of education about that civil right to police officers.
Yes, I agree. There does need to be more education within police departments about the civil rights and liberties of members of the public.
All right, so what does the ACLU's Mobile Justice app do?
So it has three main functions. You can download it. You can find a link on our website, or you can search Missouri Mobile Justice on your Android or smartphone in the App Store, and you can find it. But the three main functions are record. So if you are pulled over, for example, and I've done this myself. If I've been pulled over, I got pulled over in Kansas City one day, and I hit the record button, and I sat my phone on my dashboard, and I just let it sit there, and it recorded my interaction with the police officer. And then as soon as that interaction was over, I stopped recording, and it went off to the ACLU, to my own office.
Was there a problem with the officer in that stop?
Nope. I just generally think it's a good idea to. I mean, I personally feel safer when I'm recording my interactions with police, and I also really like the app, and I like to make sure that it's working correctly.
Do you have to tell the officer, I'm recording our encounter?
No, you don't.
Oh.
Yeah. So you can hit the record button, and that'll record your incident. And you can either manually turn the recording function off, and it will send to us, or, and this is part of the problem we were trying to address, is a lot of the times when folks were recording their interactions with police, a police officer would take their phone and delete the recording or confiscate their phone. But the nice thing about this app is that if you're recording and somebody shakes your phone or starts to mess with your phone or tries to stop the recording, it will automatically send to us. So you don't have to worry about the information being deleted or confiscated.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you had a whole bunch of videos coming in? I mean, does the ACLU have enough of a staff to review every video that comes in? Because
we do. We have gotten quite a few videos.
I'm thinking, Sarah, with stops like yours, nothing really happened there. Nothing really. Somebody really had to look at, but it went to the ACLU office, your office, in fact, and so somebody had to sit down and go, well, I wonder what happened here. Let's watch.
Yep, that's right. And we have a couple of staff and a couple of interns who take turns reviewing the footage. We review every single thing that comes in. If nothing happens that raises any red flags for us on those videos, we delete the information immediately because we don't want people to think that we're just storing videos. We're obviously huge privacy advocates, so if we don't see anything useful in the footage, we delete it immediately so nobody ever has access to that footage again. If we do see a red flag, we send it over to our legal department to take a better look.
All right, speaking of privacy, can people do this anonymously?
Yes, they can.
Okay, and what about giving you more information than just on the video? Because there could be all sorts of other stuff that somebody has witnessed or location information, et cetera, because when you get that in, you don't know where it was or who it's from or what happened.
Right. So we encourage people, you can use the app anonymously, but we actually encourage people, there's an option to put your personal information in there so that we can follow up with you if we do see something. So we encourage people to do that, but it is optional. The nice thing about the app is that when we get a report, so there's the record function and then there's a report function. And that report function addresses everything you just said. Like you can put in where you were, the officer's name, the officer's badge number, whether or not they used inappropriate language or whether or not they used force. Like you can add more information through this reporting function and also send that to us. And anytime we get either a video recording or a report from a user, it also comes with a location notification so that we know exactly where the incident happened. And that way we can track kind of where we're getting the most videos from in the state of Missouri.
What kind of feedback have you gotten from police departments about this?
We haven't gotten a lot of feedback from police departments. I think that, especially because of the protests that occurred after Michael Brown's shooting, I think, and the lawsuits we filed, I think it's becoming pretty clear to police departments that we do have that the public does have the right to record. And it's just something that I hope that departments are getting used to or will have to get used to. I know when New York put their app out, I think it was in 2012, they put out a similar app in New York City called the Stop and Frisk app, and I think New York had some, the ACLU in New York received some, stupid videos from police officers who were like playing with the app and testing it, but we haven't gotten anything like that. We haven't gotten a lot of feedback from police. We've mostly gotten feedback from members of the public who really appreciate it.
Speaking of collecting information on video, have we seen police departments in this area start using body cams yet, and what kind of a change has that made?
I'm not sure which departments are using body cameras right now. We are in the process of kind of figuring out what our view is on body cameras and how those should look in the state if departments are using them. There were some good discussions in the state legislature this year about body camera usage, but I'm not sure which departments across Missouri are using them at the moment.
I would think you'd be in favor of them because, again, more video can only mean more information.
Absolutely. I mean, we think that body cameras can be very beneficial, but also we do have a lot of privacy concerns about how long data is stored. We don't want police officers to have their entire day on record and recording their personal conversations.
Because they have privacy rights,
too.
too.
There's a lot of other regulations that would have to be addressed.
Because the cops have privacy rights, too.
That's right.
Absolutely. All right, so it's the Missouri Mobile Justice app from the ACLU, available now for your smartphone, whether it's iPhone or Android, and you can download it for free and then go start recording your encounters with the police, and we'll see how much of an onslaught of video the ACLU ends up with here. Hopefully nothing near what we ended up with last summer in Ferguson.
Yeah, I hope so. And again, we do encourage people to put in their personal information.
Sarah Rossi is Director of Policy and Advocacy for the ACLU of Missouri. Thanks so much for joining me here today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm Paul Harris. This is the Big 550 KTRS.
This is